Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly, and I'm not unboxing it because I've already unboxed it, showing you what I got, some of what I got in a win from Ron Crow. Um, the snacks, yeah, let's put it this way, they're gone. There was two of those and one of the snacks with the peanuts and the M&Ms and very good. Let's put it this way. It didn't last past like an hour of it being open. Two items I just didn't bother putting in because I just kind of shoved everything back in here. I didn't put it in nice and neat. So was two claws, which these always come in handy. I usually have multiple things between waxing and oiling and whatever. We'll go ahead since this is already out. Not that it was in there to begin with. And I hate these because never fails, most of these boxes will end up being torn. But a nice Kexmo. It's a nice little blade. Drop point. It's a good user. Toss it in a vehicle. Put it in your pocket as an extra carry. One to loan to people that maybe you don't care. Unlike, say, if you have a TKL knife handy, or let me see here. What do I have handy? North Mountain knives, blades that you don't want them to do because you don't know what they'll do with it, or God forbid, a Jack Wolf, which I'm gonna. Oops, Kelly can't flip today for some reason. Jack Wolf, you know that you don't want somebody else just messing around with a more higher dollar knife because you don't, like I said, people are idiots. But the action is good. I'm sure, I think the coating is one of those painted on coatings. It feels like it anyway. But it's a good little inexpensive knife that is awesome. I mean, it'll do what you need it to do. So that was the first item, or one of the items. This case, I really like this case. It's a good size, and I'm just going to kind of dump out everything so we can go through it. But make sure I didn't miss anything. You know, it's got little adjustable straps depending on what you're wanting to do. Put it on. You know, you can hook it on the belt. You can put it on a backpack. It's got stuff you can tuck away here, and it's kind of like Velcro on the back. So if there's something Velcro-wise, you could probably use that also. But that's got a front zipper, and you can put quite a bit of stuff in that little opening, and there is a pocket on the inside, and from the feel of it, I would say it is waterproof. On the inside anyway, of course the outside wouldn't be, but, and yeah, and the outside zipper would not be, but this would you probably could get by with it not getting, as long as you're not dumping it into the water. That's an awesome size, because you figure some of my other packs, it's maybe a little bit smaller, but similar size-wise. So this might be another pack out for me or Brian, or maybe, who knows, may end up being in a giveaway. Let's see here. He gave, I always hate these things. Trying to open them, I have issues with it. There it goes. Looks like a little bit of grease. That can always come in handy, these little containers. And, oops, now my thumb's got a little bit of grease on it. He actually gave me a set of Weehaw bits of different sizes. Looks like 6s, 7s, 8s maybe. Yep, that's an 8. And another 8, a couple 6s and a couple 8s. The two most used bits. Awesome. You can never have ever have too many bits. I buy them, I think it's like a 10 pack of them at a time of the 6s and the 8s. He gave me a couple of his paracord items that he made. Did a good job on these. I can tell the thickness is, it's a 550, but this feels like the ones that they usually do for the Chinese, less expensive paracord. It just, for some reason, they're thicker than the normal 550 that I use. The KP, or not KPs in this case, but it's the same thing that a lot of times you can get from the KPL, that are these little micro swabs or whatever you wish to call them. These come in, are extremely happy. Let's see here. Let's see if I tune it down, if it's a little bit better likewise. But these, to clean, get them in spots, I buy these by the lots also. You've got, there should be 3 of these floating around here. There it is. These, what you want to put it in, if you've got like oil, a thin oil to spray, I think alcohol, rubbing alcohol to help for cleaning stuff, especially because, I mean, you can spray your glasses, your knives, other odds and ends would be great here. So that's something that I will fill up with multiple things on there. Plus, even if you need to, rubbing alcohol if you got a wound. Yes, I do use alcohol on my wounds sometimes. Little mini carabiners. That's great for hooking, if you need something to hook onto something small or whatever, onto your thing, you know, to hang off of it. You can do that also. These always come in handy. An awesome little, I'm assuming, steel pry bar. Yes, it's magnetic. That I didn't even think about that. I don't know if he did the paracord on this or not, or if it came this way, but actually to give you some grip when you're prying something that small that you need to pop off. That's actually an awesome idea. Of course, this looks like a refillable butane lighter. Always need lighters in the packs. That's a given. Did that. Let's see here. Stickers. Awesome batches of stickers. I'm going to go through these because some of them I need for my board that I don't have, because like the Night's Edge I know I don't have, the OCD for EDC, quite a few of these. El Navajo I think is in here. There's quite a few in here that I don't have on my board, so those will be gone through and added. And we've got patches. Devo Growler pouch, Devo Stout, not Growler, sorry. I've got a Growler and Stout myself. I already know who I'm going to give this to because I don't think he has one, so I'll check with him and add that to my little box of gimmies and see if he wants that. And an awesome Olight patch, and this is a big patch. I like this. So I can honestly tell you it will probably be going, let's see, Growler, that, yeah, I got patches. And these are just the ones I keep handy that I plan on using if I take pictures and stuff, of maybe putting something, this in the background to show different things. I mean, you figure I got grizzle bears, I got blue Minottis, Aries, South Carolina knife monkey. Of course, we all know pinch grip all day. We know who that is. You know, USA Made Blades, Legion Steel, Be Less Done from, yeah, that says Be Less Done from TKL. You know, I mean, just, and see, I did have that one. You know, Tactical Pterodactyl. I mean, there's some ones that I have worn EDC and my Belissa Backwoods from my TKL that I got. So, I do collect patches. And then 2 awesome little drivers. My husband's already claimed the one with the blue top because, of course, he loves blue. And I said, that's okay, because I like the actual sound. I don't know. Maybe you'll be able to pick that up. I love the sound of that one. So can never have too many drivers either for that. So that's awesome. And then a little first aid kit that has 3 more of these, which are great for headache medicines and other assorted sundries that you might need. I honestly, I would say put like some needle and some thread in here just in case for backup for something that may need to be sewn. Would be good also in these. You know, the alcohol prep pads, antibiotics, and these are great. These little ones like this, you can kind of squeeze out a little bit, fold it over, and use it a couple times before it's done. Band-Aids is a given. I mean, this is just one of those things that is great for little bug-out bags. You know, it's not any major quantities of stuff, but it's emergency use, little things to tide you over until you can get more, which is awesome. So altogether, this was a great win. I was so tickled when he called my name, or was it numbers game? No, actually I think this was my first and only numbers game that I won. So very, very happy. Thank you, Ron, for this wonderful pack out. We will definitely get loaded up and ready to go. And like I said, I think rubbing alcohol in at least one of these, and with this being the plastic that it is, it'll probably take a Sharpie quite well. Let's just see. Let's just see how it does. Of course, maybe a smaller pen would be better. And writing on a curved surface, I can't write to begin with. But that smears. I might need to give it a little bit longer to dry up. But you could mark it, so that works. And again, Ron, awesome. Lots and lots of stuff. And like I said, the snacks kind of bit the dust right off the bat. So I am very, very pleased with this. Thank you, and I look forward to watching many more of your lives, and maybe winning something else in the near future. That would be awesome. But thank you, and guess that's it, everybody. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. This is your friend Kelly. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.